So this morning I woke up to some absolutely insane news. So honestly, I can't still tell if I'm dreaming or if I'm actually awake. But a lot of people have said it's never going to happen. Just give up on believing into the draft mode. But it's finally confirmed that we are getting draft mode in Pokemon Unite. It's still going to be 2 months away. We're going to read over the text in a second, but we got a developer letter again, message from the producer or whatever you want to call it, that we have some updates for the future ranked seasons. And of course, draft mode is something I've always wanted since a long time. Because not having a banner ranked is bad. I don't like mirror matchups, because mirror matchups make the game feel too often way to be the same. I like when there's 5 different Pokemon going up against 5 different Pokemon, because then the game feels much more different and much more fun. So, first we're going to go over the draft pick and ranked matches. So in ranked season 18, starting on February the 27th, 2024, so it's around 2-3 months away, draft pick battles will be introduced. Draft pick battles will allow both teams to vote on a Pokemon to ban from play. After both teams select a Pokemon to ban, players then take turns choosing their Pokemon without choosing any Pokemon more than once, regardless of which team has chosen it. These draft pick battles will be the same. They're used in tournaments leading up to the Pokemon World Championship. They'll be considering ways to change the format to better suit ranked matches, so it could always change as well. This is not set in stone, nothing about it could always change, without necessarily adhering to the same rules. Also, while we are targeting Master Rank players, we are still considering the faked ranks and format of this temporary edition. So, for now, we'll be only in Master Rank, which I think is totally fair, so that, the normal casuals that don't play enough to get to Master Rank don't have to deal with the system they might not want to deal with. They can just queue up on their favorite Pokemon. Let it be Gardevoir, Greninja. They can just queue up, play a few games, and don't have to worry about ranked or, draft, which I think is super good. And I think that's something, again, the Shinies beta that I talked about as well, they have this system where you just have ranked only in Master, and I think that's a super good idea. So some pros and cons for the draft mode. Actually, it's first, let's, show what it looks like before I talk about some pros and cons. And also there's one more huge thing as well in this producer letter I want to go over at the end. So this is what a draft mode looks like from a tournament, for example. Both teams, every player can choose a Pokemon to ban, and then the Pokemon that got, chosen the most will be banned. If there's multiple Pokemon, let's say 2 people voted Mimikyu, 2 people voted for, Lapras, then it will be probably, I think, randomized on deciding on which Pokemon will be banned. But, so we have this, both teams ban each a Pokemon, you can see on the top right and top left. And then, the thing is, the enemy team can't see it though, so both teams can ban the same Pokemon at the same time as well, which is a bit annoying that, this can happen, but it's just, cause I don't want to have anyone have, like, a really big advantage. So both teams ban at the same time. Then one team gets first pick, so they can pick whatever they want first. And then we have the right team or the second team picking 2 Pokemon, then back to the first team 2 Pokemon, back to the right team 2 Pokemon, back to the left team 2 Pokemon, and then 1 Pokemon. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1 is the pick order. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I think. I wonder how they're going to implement it in ranked, of course, if like who's going to be first pick, who's going to be second, third. That's all something I hope Timmy can figure out properly to understand where each player should be, or you can maybe like swap positions with other allies as well. If they're okay with it, would also be quite nice. I know in League of Legends you can swap position. So if you're last pick, you can tell your first pick, or you can click a button on your first pick and you can switch around and you can be first pick from that point on. So that's something I can for sure consider. Let me just go down the line. No mirror picks. If Slowbro or Mew is picked, the other team cannot pick Mew or Slowbro. Also, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros, finally items will be so much more valuable in draft, right? It's something one of my biggest concerns is, or my biggest complaints is, that I want to play full heal or eject button, but it depends on what Pokemon the enemy team has. Or Assault Vest, right? Assault Vest can be a very strong item as well, but I never know what I'm up against. Same for the healing items. Now I can see, oh, the enemies have a Clefable, I'm gonna put on my Curse item, right? Oh, the enemies have Volt Tackle Pikachu, or have a Pikachu, could go into Volt Tackle. I guess I'm gonna play full heal this game instead of eject button. So there's a lot of things you can adjust, which makes draft so much more versatile for the game and so much better. Also, again, no mirror picks. I don't like mirror picks. I think it just, again, makes the game too one-dimensional. I enjoy when there's 10 different Pokemon in a game. Makes it feel much more refreshing and different each round. And the hope I have the most is that the player base, this is a big copium, that the player base gets better. When they see a draft mode, when they're like, oh, okay, maybe now it's time to pick a tank or something, maybe they will do it. Like in my old game, Heroes of the Storm, we also got draft mode at some point, and people at some point started picking proper team comps. I don't think this is something I can hope for Unite, but there's still a small hope left that a draft mode will also maybe make people look up more guides, look up more characters, and be like, oh yeah, maybe a tank is better here, maybe a support should be played, because that's going to be very important, of course, when it comes to draft mode. Of course, one of the negatives is that draft mode has, let's say Timmy is your first pick, and there's, let's say, I don't know, let's say there's 3 OP Pokemon currently, okay? Let's say Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise are the 3 most OP Pokemon in the entire game. So your team bans Blastoise, the enemy team bans Blastoise, and then you have Timmy, you know, little Timmy, who's first pick, and he picks Greninja. And then the enemy team gets Venusaur and Charizard at the same time. That is a legit concern that, you know, the enemy team can pick up maybe all the OP Pokemon if your first picks are, you know, Timmy who wants to just play Greninja. That's a valid concern that I think it can be a bit difficult. Of course, it's also not quite casual friendly, so maybe a lot of players might stop playing ranked with the draft mode, but I really hope that people really give it a try, the draft mode. I'm just promise you, it's in every single MOBA game. It makes games be so much more fun and so much more different. You can pick certain Pokemon as well. Certain Pokemon can't be picked in blind pick because you don't know what you're up against. In draft mode, you can see the enemy team come and you can cite, oh, this was a good Talonflame game. But sometimes you load into it and you see the enemy team, you just can't play your Pokemon against them. But in draft mode, you will be like, okay, the enemies already have these 3 Pokemon. I can totally play Talonflame this round. So I'm super hyped for it, and I will of course make a lot of videos on you know, a lot of guides and stuff on drafting as well when it comes out, so don't have to worry about it. I will try my best to help you guys when it comes to drafting, if you're of course interested. And then we have another thing as well, which is very controversial, but they're going to straight up ban Zacian, Mewtwo X, and Mewtwo Y in the January season. So on December 5th, they get the EX tag that we had on the test server, and starting in ranked season 17 on January the 16th, during this season, all EX Pokemon will be banned. So Zacian, Mewtwo X, Mewtwo Y will not be able to be played in ranked for an entire season. And after that, we don't know. I guess they always might have different restrictions now for certain Pokemon when it comes to ranked, that is concerning. I think this is quite concerning. Not sure if I really like this kind of change. We'll see. For now, I think it's going to be quite fun to play without a season without Mewtwo and Zacian, so I'm looking forward to that season, not having to deal with Zacian and Mewtwo. But for the future, it looks quite weird. I'm not sure if I really like this. So yeah, that's it for the producer's letter, or the producer letter, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments what you think about draft mode. What do you think about the EX ban? Do you think it's good and bad? And we also have 2 new hate items, which I will make videos about in just 3 days. On the 5th of December, we get the Charging Charm and the Resonant Guard, so it's also going to be something you can look forward to in a few days. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel.